All right. Well, you guys want to do the fat cop wants coffee?
Mark, you're kind of bombing right now.
What do you mean?
You know, you got to say you gotta have a better.
Oh yeah, better segue. Well, Stone Cold drinks beer, and cops they usually drink coffee. So
Hops. That was funny.
Let's go to that one.
Don't tase me, bro!
Don't taser me, bro.
I don't know. I
Hey,
think,
a beverage is a beverage is a beverage, right?
Right. And okay, well, where's the story? We got the story anywhere? Anywhere?
Yeah, I got it. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, you can wear it.
How about Josh reads it?
Yeah, I'll read it. But you can't read this.
Yeah, I'll read it. Okay, I guess this happened in Chicago. When a Chicago police
Chicagoans, they like her coffee.
take your kid for a raid. They wear those funny hats with the little checkers. Isn't Kevin McAllister? That takes place in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
I think of all the cops in that.
I think Ray Solinsky likes his.
Come on down to Zelensky, Seattle Parts King.
Right.
I guess in Chicago, a police officer was suspended for 15 months in order to undergo counseling for demanding free coffee and pastries from 6 Starbucks coffee houses.
Yeah, it's a police
woman. Yeah, from 6 Starbucks
6
coffee houses
different
over
ones?
5 years. So he has a track record.
It's a she. It's a police
Wow,
woman.
it's a she.
Wow.
So hang on, she went from one Starbucks coffee, argued to get free coffee. When they said no, she went to another one. she was just really set on getting free coffee.
Yeah, apparently the police board of Chicago decided in May to suspend the officer, Barbara Nevers, a 14-year veteran,
Never's
after
gonna get
finding
coffee
her
from
guilty
here
of
anymore.
using the
That's
job of a police officer to intimidate the employees of the coffee houses. Apparently she'd flash her badge or handcuffs when they asked for the
Should have
payment.
flashed something else if she wanted to get coffee.
Oh, it's true, though.
I believe you missed the part where it was 55-year-old
Yeah.
Nevers.
Her name is Barbara Nevers. I am Officer Nevers. I want some coffee. I want some latte.
She claims, I don't pay for coffee. I'm an officer. I get coffee for free. Apparently that's what she would tell these Starbucks employees. I don't know about that one.
I'm not a
Josh,
fan of
you?
the Starbucks corporation at all. I think they're all a bunch of,
Yuppies.
yeah.
I used to work at, actually, Jim Burns and I used to work at a coffee shop.
Yeah, and would you give these cops
Ourselves.
free coffee
Yeah.
opportunity?
Well, that was our policy, was to give them free coffee. Like, slowly things started changing as, the market is getting worse and worse. So, got to make cuts where you can. So eventually, we cut back on some of the stuff they got. But yeah, they were always allowed to get free coffee. And as an employee, I really would like to give them the free coffee, because if you ever get pulled over and you may be recognized and you're like, hey, I haven't seen you at XYZ coffee house in a while. How you been? And it's gotten me out of a few tickets.
I don't know. Don't you think a lot of these cops go in there with sort of an agenda, and they're like, oh, well, I'm a cop. I protect the streets, kind of. And
Well, for where we're from, they don't.
I don't want to take the whole Ice Cube on stance on cops getting free coffee, but it seems a lot of the times they're really not doing a lot. If you're a cop and you have a problem with this, the 375-2332. It seems a lot of times, 90% of their job, I think we were talking about this on the way there to do the show, they're not really doing anything.
The problem with police work.
Why are we giving them free stuff?
Well, that's how we see it. Again, we're from Amherst, New York. It's a little. It's supposed to be the United States' safest town
Right.
for like 3 or 4 years running now, or maybe we're number 2 or something like that now. But I think the problem is, you'll get a cop.
Bike path rapist, that's where we're number 2.
That mother. Well, anyways.
Altimio Sanchez.
Why?
If you're listening, call in. I don't know what penitentiary you're being held at right now, but I'm sure that it's probably New York State. So,
Well, the problem is you'll get these police officers, apparently in Amherst, there was 8 officers who made $100,000 last year. And you'll get these Buffalo police guys who start at, what, 35, 30,000, and they're obviously seeing a lot more probably shootings and crimes and homicides than these Amherst cops are. And where can you draw the
sad
line?
part is they're probably getting less gratuities because they don't live in an area where they just give stuff out. I'm assuming because they're not really respected in their jurisdiction.
So just to say, what are these cops doing? A lot of these cops do stuff. You just don't. I'm just setting the record straight.
I just don't like.
But we're not generalizing that much.
I don't like giving out free stuff to anybody. I don't care what your job is, and I think a lot of these cops, especially Barbara Nevers, is getting out of hand with these gratuities because they're just okay. We get it. You're a cop. That's your job. I don't want to be mean here, but you were a C student in high school and you went to a community college, and that's why you're a cop. So if you're getting free stuff, I get it. You protect the streets, but I don't think you should get free coffee. I don't think you should get a free tall latte anytime. Pay for it. Pay the extra $1.90 to get that latte. And
We're about to get arrested as soon as we walk out.
But this lady,
cares?
this lady definitely had
Which
a
one of you
mustache.
said
Bring it on.
student.
That means we're getting listeners, Phil.
Let's break it down here. I mean, honestly, cops don't make any less than the average person. In fact, I guarantee that whatever region they live in, their wage is much greater than the average wage for that area. And honestly, they sit around, they'll come into the coffee shop that me and Josh had worked at, and they'll let their cars idle in the parking lot for half an hour when they have their free coffee,
In the winter,
wasting more
So basically, so they don't have to turn off their heat.
wasting more of taxpayers' money. And their pensions are amazing. I mean, they have no qualms about, but they just take what they take, and that's just how they think they deserve.
Because they're all, I don't know. I
Well,
just think it's a little...
Here's the question: you take 4 bullets to the back one day in service, and you're paralyzed for the rest of your life. Was every cent you made was any of that worth it?
I don't know if
No.
Christopher Reeve ever cured himself from drinking lattes or or anything. So I don't think coffee is really going to help you, or free coffee for that matter. So I don't know. I just think that some of these cops are getting a little out of hand. Like, they go into any business. It's not just for food or coffee. They'll go into any business and they'll say, "Hey, I'm a cop. Why don't you give me a discount?" Phil, you were talking about you live in a pizza. No, you
I live in a pizza
place.
Yeah, but again,
work at
that's
a pizza
food.
place, and
Sometimes they do expect maybe a little bit of a discount, but I never give it to them just because I haven't been given the okay to do it. You know what I mean?
right.
But sometimes maybe the manager is there or whoever the owner and says, "No, go ahead and give them a discount." I don't understand why.
I just want to know.
I think half the time it's just people trying to, like Josh said, get on their good side, so they might recognize you again,
Yeah.
and that could come back to help you. But I don't think that's a good reason to do it.
That's
That's why I've never done it.
I just want to know how many times they go to a public store or anything, for anything really, and wear their uniform and expect people to give them discounts. Or just, really, I think it's a power trip most of the time.
I've never really
it's safe
seen
to
cops
say.
doing it at stores. Have you? Like, I think I've only seen it in food places. Is it like the coffee shops and food places?
Even if they're not asking for it, they have a certain air about them where they kind of look like they're expecting something.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't say it, but you can see it in the way that they approach you, the way that they ask for things, just there in the background.
And again, I mean, most of these guys aren't John McClane of the New York Police Department, and they're not really saving. All right, it's going to sound bad. They're not really saving lives every day. They're mostly writing tickets. And I don't want to come off as government or anything, but it's just...
I think Josh was right. I think that's just your perception because we live in the safest city in America.
Yeah.
And Josh is right. The Buffalo cops
just-
obviously face a lot more.
Yeah, I'm not discounting... Yeah, obviously they put...
And there's also
on the line
different
every day.
There's also different
in any
branches
police department.
of police departments. The only ones that we've ever encountered are the patrol cops
I just
that
think
do traffic.
I just think to
stuff.
expect more than what your salary gives you is kind
Because
of...
there is homicide units and there is drug units, drug enforcement agents. There's the ones that we encounter just because we're not criminals or thugs or whatever you want to
Well,
say.
that's also the majority
Is
of cops
yeah,
out there, though.
it's just the patrol units. So
The thing is,
And
everyone
I'm not
gets,
defending them again, but
the thing is that everyone gets benefits from their job, whether you're a cop or anything else. If you work at a donut shop, maybe you get to bring home a box of donuts at the end of the day if there's some
Timbits.
left over. I mean, it's just the fact that they get that, I guess, impacts us because we see it at our own jobs, and maybe that's why we're
Right.
picking it apart. But
I don't know, but we don't go in if you work at a donut place. If you work at a donut place, you don't usually go and expect free donuts everywhere you go, or free anything wherever you go. I don't know. I think it's just...
and I highly doubt the people that get into law enforcement are doing it for
of course not.
the
but
free coffee
It's
too.
definitely a benefit.
But this lady, this cop, Barbara Nevers, I think she just took it out of hand. And when you start demanding it, that's a
Right.
little different.
It should be a
If
thing
you
where you go
expecting
in
it
there...
and demanding
yeah.
it is a little different.
You should go in there with a little discretion and go, well, I'm a cop. Here's my badge.
See, we get
I'm
the
gonna
same
say,
thing.
okay, that's
Or if you
the
just
same
request it,
price.
say, "Are you guys still doing free coffee for police officers?" And they say, "No, we're not." Then say, "Okay, thank you." If they say, "Yes, actually, we are," then take
Right.
it
You should
and
be
go
a
on your
little
merry
more
way.
mild manner with that, even if you're a cop. So, dead air.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys want to